Lads, Angel Reese is currently about to be suspended. She has 7 technical fouls on the season. And if this was last season, in a 44-game season, she would have already been suspended. She would have already...
Angel Reese recently became emotional on the court and lashed out in ways that shocked both fans and analysts, putting her in danger of being benched from the WNBA. Given the current situation, she might receive a suspension for receiving too many technical fouls. To be honest, it's time for someone to discuss this expanding issue.
So not only does bricklayer Ratchet Reese lead the league in turnovers, she also leads the league in technical fouls with 7. And if she gets one more technical foul, her goofy ass is sitting down to be suspended for a game, man, because she can't control that ratchet bad attitude that I tell y'all about all the time.
Through July 2025, she had already received 7 technical fouls in just 22 games. And for any professional athlete to accumulate that much in such a short period of time is absurd. She might now face serious issues because the WNBA explicitly stipulates that 8 technical fouls result in an automatic 1-game suspension. In order to handle the enlarged 44-game schedule, the league increased this threshold from 7 to 8 this season, but Reese is still perilously near that limit.
What you got, Angel? We're dribbling. Cross.
Fouled.
Ooh.
The dribble. A lot of ball on that play. You can see by the facial expression of Marie. She knew she had a lot of ball as well.
The aggression
I can see it.
Angel Reese going inside. She's using her size and
Somebody.
physicality, trying to push Kalundakova off the space.
Angel Reese has already drawn 3 fouls, and I think she just got attacked.
Too many players are allowed to get away with acting aggressively against both their own coaching staff and other players in the WNBA. There has been an unsettling pattern this season of rising technical fouls across the league. In one recent season, players received 92 technical fouls before to the All-Star break, which is 11 more than they received during the entire previous season, according to ESPN. Coaches still had about 20% of the season left after receiving another 30 technical fouls.
It is genuinely one of the funny things about this is that her fans are arguing that none of the techs are warranted. They are all warranted. Like, what are we talking about? Every one of these techs are warranted. I'm not joking when I say this. They're like, oh, 4 of her 7 techs have been from double techs. Yeah. Something happens in the game and you square up to your opponent. It's a double tech. And your opponent, you go head to head with your opponent's a double tech. It's never not been a double tech.
Although the league's head of officiating has attempted to minimize this increase by asserting that there was no league-wide push to raise technicals, players throughout the league have taken notice of the stats. Liz Campage, a center for the Dallas Wings, spoke out against officials' attempts to soften the game, claiming she was given a technical for glancing at a referee. Angel Reese is exhibiting exactly this type of emotional instability.
Man, goofy ass Ratchet Reese out here doing so great on the court with that bad ratchet attitude, racking up tech after tech after tech, man. Fake ass point forward, leading the league in turnovers because she wants to act like she's a point guard so bad, to act like she's better than Caitlin Clark when her ass can't dribble or do anything. How the fuck are you a forward leading in turnovers because you want to try to be a point guard so bad with no...
During the pause, Crosby, the team's strength and conditioning coach and vice president of basketball operations, was merely attempting to speak with Reese when the Chicago Sky star lost her cool. The unadulterated, breathtaking act of public rebellion, the sentiment and disrespect shown at that time revealed deep, unsightly flaws in a franchise that was on the verge of collapse. This particular instance exemplifies the emotional immaturity that has afflicted her second season. Nor was this an isolated occurrence. Reese said earlier in the season that she and her teammates were fed up with Coach Tyler Marsh and his crew calling them names. Beyond typical competitive tension, these remarks point to a deeper breakdown in the player-coach connection.
A lot of people are picking up on is when she is walking over to the bench and she slaps the clipboard out of her coach's hand. And you guys, my honest reaction to this when I first saw it, I was just laughing. It's kind of like the reaction that you're seeing from me right here. I wouldn't look into this too hard. I know it's already become controversial because they're like, oh, if another player did this, there would be think pieces written about it. And
let's now talk about her attempt to promote her own shoe at the All-Star Game, which was obviously an attempt to capitalize on Caitlin Clark's celebrity to raise her own profile. Angel debuted her Reebok Angel Reese 1 Meb Bounce colorway during the celebrations because she believed that Caitlin Clark's attendance would guarantee that the All-Star Game was the most watched basketball game of the year. The time was calculated and transparent. Reese wanted to capitalize on the fact that Clark's participation as team captain would attract a lot of viewers for the release of her signature shoe. Angel Reese attempted to create a stir with the debut of her new shoes, but now she runs the very real prospect of being suspended for earning an excessive number of technical fouls. It couldn't come at a worse time. It would be extremely embarrassing and might badly harm her shoe sales and image if she were suspended immediately after debuting her sneaker.
The emotional decline continues for Angel Reese. The temper tantrums, the complete loss of emotional control continues for the Bayou Barbie, as well as the Chi-Town Barbie and Double Double Barbie, and whatever other alias that Angel Reese has decided to give her.
It was a complete contrast to the widespread attention Rhee had planned for. Unlike if Clark had been fit and playing, no one was really interested in the game or her shoe reveal. With 2.2 million viewers, the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game saw a 36% decrease from the previous year's record of 3.44 million. Although this remained the second most watched All-Star Game in WNBA history, and Clark's injury-related absence was the primary cause of the decline. The audience was greatly impacted by Clark's absence. After Clark left the celebrations, ticket prices in Indianapolis dropped from $120 to just $640 on TickPick, reflecting this fact. The average attendance at Indiana Fever games with Clark is 1,684, which is over twice as many than at non-Fever games, 8,552. Whole arenas must be relocated to bigger locations when Clark performs in order to meet demand.
But there is the part of me that's like, is this really necessary? And shouldn't Angel Reese be able to market herself at this point without invoking or even, insinuating some sort of attachment to Caitlin Clark? Because if I'm being honest about it, people say that moment, and that moment was huge. It will live forever. That moment will live forever. But Caitlin Clark was on this trajectory already. And if anyone has benefited more from the attachment, at least from an attention standpoint,
this leads us to the difficult reality that many WNBA players are unwilling to face. Caitlin Clark is not Angel Rhee. Indeed, Caitlin's injuries this season have prevented her from playing at her best. Even though Caitlin Clark has missed a lot of time due to quad and groin injuries, she still attracts more attention and enthusiasm than Angel Reese when she is healthy. Clark missed about 40% of the Fever's games in 2025 due to 3 different soft tissue ailments. She has battled left groin injuries, left quad strains, and most recently, a right groin injury that prevented her from attending All-Star Weekend. Her influence on the league is still unparalleled in spite of these losses. Even games, Clark has profited from her overall influence on the league even if she doesn't play. The average attendance at non-Clark WNBA games has increased over 40% to 428,000 from 301,000 the year before. This demonstrates how Clark is building a rising tide that benefits the entire league while also improving everything around her.
WNBA All-Star Weekend is supposed to be the star of all stars. All the big dogs is out. Asia Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, everybody's out. The big dogs are out. You got the rookie, you got Angel Reese, Miss Me Too. All of the stars are here. And look at this news. The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48% from $121 to just $64 after news broke that Caitlin Clark won't be.
Given how many people Caitlin Clark attracts to the WNBA and its advertisers, I believe that many would prefer to see her hurt than healthy. Athletics. This goes beyond mere conjecture. It is supported by hard data and market trends. Clark has significantly altered the demographics of the WNBA's viewership. According to Nielsen data, viewership has increased by at least double digits across all demographic groups, with the largest increases occurring among young, male, and white viewers. The number of girls aged 217 who watch on ESPN networks has increased by 181%. Additionally, the league's overall growth is being outpaced by 54 percentage points by fans aged 18 to 34. Even though it was scheduled for the well-known All-Star Weekend, Reese's signature shoe launch did not create the same amount of mainstream excitement. Despite its importance, her Reebok partnership lacks the level of cultural penetration attained by Clark's transactions. Despite its cleverness, Mebound's branding is a defensive marketing tactic rather than the aggressive aspirational messaging that propels significant commercial success.
And then there's the actual, like, let's take it seriously for a second. Take over your trap. I mean, who's she talking about right there? Because Clark takes over every single trap she goes to. In fact, they gotta expand the trap so she can take over more real estate. Every single place she goes to. I mean, there is zero argument to possibly be made that she isn't the biggest attraction, the one that brings the most attention, whatever. It's not even worth talking.
The league's seeming uneven approach to sanctions is especially annoying. Other players are held to different standards, whereas Rhea is allowed to continue accruing technical fouls and displaying angry outbursts without facing severe repercussions. Fans and coaches are demanding more uniform enforcement of the league's increased scrutiny of officiating and player conduct. Of regulations. For someone who has consistently demonstrated that she lacks emotional control on the court, Reese's $1,800 fine for her 7 technical fouls is a slap in the face. In contrast, other players have seen harsher penalties for less heinous actions. The group has experienced internal strife and discipline issues. When your team's alleged star player publicly acknowledges that they are sick of their coaches cursing them out, it is an indication of severe organizational dysfunction. There was more to the clipboard incident than just disdain for Coach Crosby. The chemistry and morale of the team were suffering. Young players on the team believe that disrespecting coaching staff is acceptable after witnessing their seasoned captain act in such a manner. It produces a poisonous culture that sabotages the organization's attempts to provide a long-term solution.
I feel sorry for only one person, that's Caitlin Clark for the WNBA. Someone who actually brought hope, brought decorum, professionalism, brought excitement, the magic to the league, and it's like this whole league is trying to extinguish the magic, the positivity, and I don't believe in this whole, women support women. Nah. The WNBA really shows that's not the case, man. They really destroy that narrative.
The WNBA's broader issues with player conduct and league sanctions are reflected in this particular case. More technical fouls, more aggressiveness, and rising hostilities between players and officials have all been features of the season. Numerous athletes and coaches have voiced their displeasure with the officiating standards, fostering an atmosphere that normalizes emotional outbursts. From front desks to coaching staff to players, there is a culture issue that requires attention on several levels. When star players like Rhea can repeatedly cross lines without facing serious consequences, it sends a message that certain individuals are above the rules. This damages the league's ability to compete and breeds animosity among players who are held to different standards.
Every single time anyone goes hard fouls Angel Reese or goes near Angel Reese, she squares up to them. And I mean it. Like, I don't care. By the way, I don't care about this. I don't care about standing up for teammates. I don't care about standing up for yourself. You know what? I'm okay. I don't even care if she gets a suspension. You know what? So be it. So be it. But, like, they're obvious technical fouls. She got swatted by Maria Klindakova yesterday and just squared up to her. Like, she just gets into it with every single player. We saw it in Unrivaled. She gets into it with every...
The stark contrast between Clark and Rhea extends beyond just viewership numbers. It concerns their responses to stress, hardship, and their responsibilities as league representatives. In spite of having to deal with rough play and dubious officiating, Clark has largely remained composed and professional. She hasn't publicly clashed with coaching staff, and her technical foul total is still manageable. The clipboard incident and her league-high number of technical fouls, on the other hand, were the culmination of Reese's emotional instability.
Clip. Angel Reese said that she was done being polite. She was done being humble. I'm done being silent. The Bayou Barbie is mad, mad, mad. And Barbie is about to start clapping back at the haters. To her credit, Angel Reese said what she meant and meant what she...
Instead of players who cause needless controversy, the league needs ambassadors who can gracefully handle both success and disappointment and debate. While Reese's actions frequently perpetuate unfavorable preconceptions about emotional women's sports, Clark embodies the ambitious side of women's basketball. Rhea received her 7th technical foul with 21 games left in Chicago's season, meaning she needs to play the remainder of the games without receiving another one in order to escape punishment. Considering her history of emotional outbursts and combative conduct, this appears more improbable. A player who has previously expressed disapproval of the WNBA's poor wage will automatically be suspended without pay for one more technical violation. It would be especially ridiculous to forfeit a game check because of subpar self-retro retreat. Additionally, the penalty would damage the Chicago Sky's already limited hopes of making the playoffs. Every game must be played by the team's top players, and Reese's inability to control her emotions could cost them a postseason spot. Angel Reese will be watching from the sidelines rather than playing if he receives one more technical foul since time is running out. Perhaps that is precisely what she and the league require.
Angel Reese is the problem in Chicago Sky, and I've been telling you this since last year. You're not going to win a championship the way that they're playing right now. I don't care if they have Nafisa on the team, Breanna Stewart, or even Angel on the team. If you play your offense through Angel Reese, you're never going to win a championship. Never.